Hey, Carnivore fans. This is a rundown of my first 10 days on the carnivore diet, and it's a pretty exciting time. A lot's happening, a lot's going on. Uh, so let's just dive right in. So, of course, I started the carnivore diet and I started feeling better right away, right? No, not exactly. That's not how this works. So, the carnivore diet takes an adjustment, and the more healthy you've been eating up until you started it, the better off you'll do. But also, the more that you educate yourself on how to start it and what it truly means to be on the carnivore diet, the better you'll do. I'm Holly, and if you watched my first video, then you know my story. So, the reason why I decided to start on the carnivore diet is because I've been struggling a lot with reactive hypoglycemia and polyphagia. Now, polyphagia, it's basically a hunger attacks. They're just attacks of extreme insatiable hunger. And I've been dealing with this a long time, but it all got worse when I went on a weight loss drug and experienced rapid weight gain. And I put on about 30 pounds in 6 weeks. So instead of killing my appetite, that drug triggered the worst hunger attacks I've ever experienced in my life. And those attacks are only relieved by eating carbs, like a big, huge carb-heavy meal, which of course results in drastic weight gain. And that's what happened. So since then, I took off the extra weight with a combination of low-carb paleo and intermittent fasting. But when I lost the weight I wanted to, and then I started adding back in meals and carbs, my reactive hypoglycemia got worse, and the polyphagia attacks just exploded to the point where they were happening every day, every other day. They were just making me so sick during those episodes and then leaving me so exhausted afterwards that I just couldn't live that way. I had to look for answers. I had to find a way to solve this, and I just had to figure out what could fix it. And yes, I did have this checked out by my doctor, just to rule out anything more serious, but all my labs came back normal, and my doctor and I both think that it's dietary related, diet and hydration issue, and likely either resulted or just exacerbated by the rapid weight gain and being overweight for that period. Along with that, you know what? Now it just so happens randomly that I'm wearing this heart rate monitor. You can see here, it's a CAM, it's a Carnation ambulatory monitor, and it's designed to measure the heart rate. And I'm going through AFib, and it's just a follow-up diagnostic study of the heart. So this will be interesting to track the results of the heart rate study right alongside the first 10 days on the carnivore diet. So you can see here, this is the box of the ambulatory monitor, heart monitor study. And I activated it on December 3rd, 2023. Well, you probably can't see it because it's probably backwards for you. But I started this on December 3rd. And I started the carnivore diet on December 4th. And the reason for that really is I had just been feeling so bad. I just wasn't able to get it together and get this going until I could search around and dig around and find a solution that could potentially work to solve some of my issues, because my health was just so bad. And when I found the carnivore diet and I researched it and learned about it, I started to have hope again that maybe there is something that I can do myself to handle this issue. Because the drugs that target your hunger hormones, GLP-1 inhibitors, that's not the way to go. That certainly didn't help me at all. So it'll be interesting to see the results of this heart rate study. And but really, from what I know of the carnivore diet, just to be clear, that 10 days is a really short time. And you really need to be on carnivore for 30, 60, 90 days to be seeing any significant results in healing, especially long-term chronic conditions. It takes time. It takes your body time. Even when you're feeding it the right nutrition and the right materials that it needs to rebuild, you got to give it time to rebuild. And so, all right. Well, it turns out that actually, this is not the first time that I started carnivore. I looked into this a few years ago and I attempted to start carnivore, but I didn't do it right. I didn't know very much about it. In fact, I really didn't know anything at all. I just saw some guy on the internet, a friend of mine. It was social media, but I knew him. He's actually a doctor. Um, but it was, what I did is I just went and I got a pound of ground chicken and I divided that up into 3 meals and ate that. And I didn't know anything about adding extra fats to your meals like butter or, bacon or even dairy. A lot of people doing carnivore add dairy and cream, cheese. You don't want to be eating lean meats. You want to be eating fatty meats. And everybody raves about good steak and ribeye. And even if you're eating chicken, you want to have the dark meat. You want to have the skin on. You got to have some fuel to stick with you. There's definitely a right way and a wrong way to start it. And I just didn't know anything at that time. And even the first day, just the acidity was so much for me. I had to have something else. And so I had an avocado. And then the next day, same thing. I had an avocado. And the third day, I had another avocado. And then I added some vegetables. And then I thought, well, I'm not even doing carnivore and it's not working for me. And I just stopped. So this time around, I learned a lot more before I ever even considered starting it again. And it's been a lot more successful experience. So I just took notes on what happened day by day. I wrote down what I ate and how I felt. And, I'm going to do another video on just what I ate every day and how that all worked out. But let's go through this. This is really how I felt. And did I stabilize and did I feel steady? And was I able to get fat adapted instead of glucose adapted, which obviously my body running on carbs and sugars is not working, even though I'm not a big, huge sugar eater. It's just a matter of, I know I didn't want to be in ketosis necessarily all the time. So I was just trying to eat more of a normal diet, but do intermittent fasting and definitely high protein, low carb. It just wasn't working for me. I was just spiraling downhill. So let's find out what happened on the first 10 days of carnivore. All right, let's go. All right, day 1, my hunger hormones stabilized and I started to feel more energy and I slept like a baby. And that was fantastic. That just made me feel like, okay, this maybe could work for me and I'm moving in the right direction. Baby steps, baby steps. So day 2, this was a work day and my schedule was busy and my day was long. Breaks are short. It's hard to get enough food in at meal times. So I had a reactive hypoglycemia episode in the afternoon, but it wasn't bad. And I had coffee with cream and I got through it and lots of water. And I also had a detox reaction, which I've done a lot of cleanses, a lot of purification, juicing. I've done a lot of stuff to improve my health. And so I know what it's like when my body's starting to go through detox, which there's a technical name for that, and it's called autophagy. And autophagy is when your body is cleaning up and repairing, eating away the dead cells that need to go, to clean it out. And I can tell when that's happening. And that kicked in on day 2. So again, I thought, oh, this is a really good sign. We're headed in the right direction. So let's see here. However, I think because it had been such a busy day and I just really didn't get enough nutrition in overall, I did end up needing a midnight snack, which is very common. I have terrible insomnia. And I often eat in the middle of the night. And really, it's this reactive hypoglycemia kicking in. If I don't eat enough at dinner, I just can't make it through the night. And it just, once this reactive hypoglycemia kicks in, then adrenaline kicks in, and the adrenaline, it lasts for hours and hours and hours, and it doesn't stop until adrenaline doesn't just leave your body. It has to work its way out, and you have to give it time. So that means I'm up till sometimes 2, 3, 4 in the morning before I am able to go to sleep. So, so the second day, then I was pretty pleased that I was feeling better, but it's just typical that I would need a midnight snack. So, unfortunately for me, a midnight snack, it's basically a complete meal. It's going to be this, a burger. I'm not saying with the bun or anything, but a burger, an egg, like whatever you would eat at a meal. That's what I would eat as a snack. So that's day 3. I was too busy again, and I didn't drink enough water throughout the day, and I didn't eat enough at dinner. And I had broiled these delicious little lamb chops, like 6 little pieces of lamb. And really, I should have eaten all 6. There's just no reason not to eat all 6. From what I've seen now of carnivores, they would eat all 6. But this is me with mentality of remember, don't eat white at night and eat light at night and all this intermittent fasting. And if you eat light at night, you can lose weight. And it's just ingrained. So I only had 3 of those little lamb chops. They were delicious. And I was full, but that didn't last me. So, yes, I got another bout of reactive hypoglycemia. I was awake and eating until 2 or 3 a.m. But I do have to say that at least this episode, it was less alarming and it was more just annoying. So it was a slight improvement and definitely better than it had been in the whole past couple of months. So day 4. Day 4 on Carnivore, I was feeling tired. I was fatigued. I was out of sorts. Not in the sense of a detox. Like when you go on a detox and your body is just getting rid of chemicals and toxins, there's a fatigue that goes along with that, where you just feel tired and achy and you want to go to bed and sleep. It wasn't really like that. It was just more of the same, how I've been feeling the past couple of months. So I did hydrate more. I ate some turkey soup with bone broth that I had made from leftover holiday turkey. And it was literally just the turkey meat, the bone broth, and the drippings, the pan drippings, and salt. I didn't put any celery or carrots, no vegetables, nothing, no onions, not even any spices. And honestly, it was really, really good. I really liked it. I also ate pork, and I had cheese. I had baked brie, not with the crust, not with the flour crust, but just baked brie. Put the brie in the air fryer and bake it. So I still had a feeling of reactive hypoglycemia. But again, it was just more annoying and not really so alarming. So that was an improvement. And at least I wasn't headed out the door for a burger and fries just with this starvation, hunger. And hey, you know what? I discovered a new favorite bedtime snack, and that was bacon and eggs. I've never had bacon and eggs as a bedtime snack, but it worked for me. So it just helped me get back on track and get my really, really bad reactive hypoglycemia under control. So what happened then on day 5? Well, day 5, I felt horrible. I just felt terrible. And it seems like I ate enough, but it was a super busy work day. I had not enough time to handle eating and drinking adequately from the get-go. And it just turned into a rampant, massive polyphagia attack. Now with polyphagia, I can eat and eat and eat protein and fat all day long, and it won't cut this reaction. So it just won't touch my hunger or break through this hormonal attack that I'm having. So eventually I have to eat carbs, or else I'll just continue to suffer pain for 4, 5, 6 hours until I finally break down and eat the carbs. And I mean, not just like an apple. No, I mean eggs and potatoes. I try not to eat gluten, so I try not to have a burger and a bun, but just rice, some kind of starchy, heavy, sweet potatoes. Quinoa ain't gonna cut it. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So anyway, what happened here? I just was having this extreme attack where I have to eat carbs or else I'll just continue to suffer. So I did finally break down and I ate 7 coconut macaroons, and that's what curbed the extreme hunger attack. And frankly, to get over this attack with only 7 coconut macaroons and not like French fries or something, that was progress. That was pretty good. I'll take it. So, I ate the coconut macaroons, and then a little later, when I had a break, I cooked some ground pork and nice fatty ground pork, and I ate that, and then I finally felt good. And I didn't need any dinner after that. It's just crazy. I mean, these attacks, I can eat and eat and eat, and it doesn't fill me up until I get the carbs, and then the carbs will create a breakthrough, and then I'll be fine. And it's not hunger. I don't know what it is. I think it's hunger hormones. I'm still trying to figure it out. So, anyway, I didn't even need any dinner that night, and I went to bed and I slept all night. Okay, so what happened the next day? So, day 6. Well, day 6 went from bad to worse. But the good news is it did get better. So I had a really hard start. I felt lousy. I felt fatigued. I felt hungry and sick. My husband says that I was mad at everything and mad about everything, and I believe him. So I kept eating on Carnivore though. And even though I had to rearrange my day to eat a meal at 4 p.m. because I was so hungry, I couldn't wait until 6 o'clock for dinner. So it's not my typical dinner time, but that meal did it for me. I had lots of fat and protein. It was a good hearty meal, a good hearty carnivore meal. And then I went out to help a family member, and when I came home, it was 10 o'clock at night, and I felt like I wanted to eat something. So I put on some bacon to cook, but I went to clean up and take a shower, and when I was done with all that, I felt okay, and I decided I didn't need to eat a bedtime snack. So that meant that I had an early dinner at 4 p.m. and felt good. I slept all night, and I thought, you know what? Hey, I broke through. Maybe I'm fat adapted now, and instead of being sugar adapted. And I only ate 2 meals, and wouldn't that be a nice meal schedule? There are carnivores and intermittent fasters who do that. They stick to an 8-hour eating window and a 16-hour fasting window. And that is actually really highly recommended to trigger autophagy, which is when your body does its healing and repair and cleanup work. And 4 p.m. is a decent hour to eat. Lots of people go out for happy hour or a sunset dinner special and eat a nice dinner and call it a night. They don't come home and eat another big meal. So, I just thought, okay, maybe this would be a great schedule. A meal at 10 a.m. and a meal at 6 or at 4 p.m. And if it works, that would be really easy to deal with, and maybe we could just rock and roll here. Well, okay, let's go on. What happened to to day 7. So with day 7, I made it all the way from that 4 p.m. dinner to 10 a.m. breakfast the next day, and I finally was feeling better, and I felt like this was my breakthrough day. My husband had said to give it until Sunday, which this was, day 7 was Sunday, to see how I feel, and he was right. There was a definite shift on Sunday. So I was suddenly able to hold my appetite, and I was able to think about something other than food and where's my next meal coming from. I had more energy, and I had more ambition, and I got more done. That is if you call attending 2 parties getting stuff done. But hey, you gotta have fun, right? So I went to a girlfriend get-together, and I had a great time, and it was a potluck, and I decided that it's just going to be easier not to eat there. And I wanted to bring something festive to contribute. So this is what I brought. I brought seltzer water with pomegranate seeds. And that was a nice way to enjoy a festive holiday party. And it looks fun, and it is fun. It's just a nice way to contribute without cooking a dish and bringing something. So I enjoyed talking with everyone there. It was a really nice time. And another day of just 2 meals, a 10 a.m. and a 4 p.m. And I really thought, hey, I can do this. I think I've had a breakthrough, and I made it through the toughest part of starting on carnivore. So on to day 8. Well, day 8. Ugh. I woke up hungry. I ate my first breakfast, and I was still hungry. And I ate my second breakfast, and I was still hungry. And I felt like Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit. He has first breakfast, he has second breakfast, and that's just what he does every day. I drank a ton of water, a ton of coffee and tea, and I ate lunch, and then I finally felt full. I had a good afternoon, and then my husband made me the sweetest looking salmon strips for dinner. Salmon strips with bacon. And I never had salmon strips. He just took a fillet of salmon and sliced it into strips and broiled it. Not breaded. We don't do that. Not on carnivore. I just thought it was very creative and thoughtful and fun. And, we're just shaking it up. And, sorry, there's a nice little bug there. That's great. Okay, moving on. So I ended the night with just hot water, a mug of hot water. And I've done this before, actually many times. But I do remember one time especially, we were on vacation in Hawaii, and it was so hot. You just don't even want to eat. You lose your appetite because it's the heat. But I like to have a nice cup of hot tea before I go to bed. And I just didn't even want the tea. I didn't want anything in that water. I just wanted a cup of hot water. And I did that every night while we were in Hawaii. And it worked out. It was nice. So I did that again. And it was fine. It was nice. But later that night, at the end of the night, it turned out I couldn't go to sleep. So I was awake until 1 a.m. and I started getting hungry, and my adrenaline started kicking in. My heart starts beating. It's kind of thumping against the pillow. Starting to think about, what am I going to have for breakfast? And that just means that this crazy hunger is kicking in again. And so I have a choice. I can either lay there and toss and turn half the night, or get up and deal with it and just do something about it and handle it. So that's what I did. I got up and I ate, and I watched carnivore videos and waited until I got tired enough to go back to bed. So day 9, okay, after that middle of the night feast, then I wasn't too hungry in the morning. So, but I sure was tired. So I had coffee in the morning, and then 2 decent meals that day, lunch and dinner. And I was feeling pretty steady and stable by the end of the day. And day 10, Well, finally, I can say I feel pretty good. And I don't mean just feeling good doing the carnivore diet, I mean feeling good in general. Um, Feeling steady and stable, mentally, physically, my blood sugar, my brain function. Um, I just feel like I'm getting enough food at meal times and I'm not hungry between meals, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're meant to live our lives, to eat to live, not live to eat. And I do feel like now I'm starting to do well. I can see how this way of eating works for others, and I can see that it's going to work for me too. And just if I stick with it, I just do feel like this is the thing that's going to stabilize these crazy attacks that I've been having. And whatever I've done in the past with starting at a very young age, extreme dieting, and a lot of eating healthy. I mean, this whole thing is just so surprising to me because of all my friends. Everyone always tells me, "Oh, you eat so healthy," and I am health conscious, and I do eat low carb, and I was a vegetarian for 4 years. That's a whole nother story. Turned that around. But for this situation to get so far out of hand with someone who really does know a lot about nutrition and health and wellness and does take care of themselves, it's just so surprising. And, I just think people don't turn to carnivore just out of curiosity. They really don't. They are looking to solve a problem. And in a lot of cases, it's the problems are really serious. They could be diverse problems, but here we are. That's what I'm doing, and I decided that I really needed to take matters into my own hands and control my health and wellness. And so far, so good. So that's my check-in on the first 10 days on the carnivore diet, and there's more to come. So see ya.